Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome. I am back with another video for our co-op multiplayer RPG game that we are making. This is gonna be a boring episode. We will do some cleanup. So basically, if we open our data tables, see here, what we have in here are hard references to stuff. I wouldn't say this is the most important thing in the world, especially if you're doing a smaller game, like if you're doing a single player game. But we want to keep stuff from loading into memory as much as possible. So if we search for details, if we open our structures, see here. So all of these are hard references. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to change everything to soft reference instead. You have it down here if you just select float, SC float, static mesh, that's also a soft object reference. That's also a soft object reference. It's fine. Same for player details. There is nothing to be soft referenced. That needs to be soft referenced, and that needs to be soft referenced. Go, and now we're gonna play, and nothing is gonna work. So we need to actually remake some of the functions in here. So let's start with the NPC manager. Take damage. Alright, so we're gonna change some of the functions here. So we're gonna... This is basically when we are dying, right? So we're gonna copy this. Go to the combat graph. Gonna make a new custom event. Call it MC death. Then we're just gonna paste stuff in here. And you see here, so this is a object reference, this is a soft object reference. So we need to load these assets in when we use them. So from death montages, we'll do random. Now we will turn this soft object reference into a hard reference. Do that by calling async load asset. Complete. We will cast to anim montage. And once again, I will explain this. Casting itself is not bad. I see people say that casting is bad. Casting itself is not bad. Casting in this case, we're casting to a base class, so this doesn't create any unnecessary dependencies because the anim montage is a base class in the engine anyway, so it doesn't create a dependency for the MC manager and a bunch of other custom classes. And we're only gonna use this when we're gonna play an animation montage, so it needs to be loaded into memory anyway. So this is not something that is bad by any means to do. So what would be bad, like bad is an over-exaggerate, is not the right word, but if I would cast to play my character here, for instance, that would create a hard reference to my character class to the NPC manager, which means that the character class would be loaded into memory every time we use the NPC manager. So this is fine to do it this way. And we now Actually, let's also replace this holder variable. Let's do like this. On begin play, gonna get owner, cast to character. Once more, this is an engine base class, so it's fine. Promote to variable, owning character. I am gonna collapse this to a function called owning character. Now set up owning character. And it does not, this variable here does not need to be replicated. As it sets itself, it's gonna be the same on everything anyway. So grab the owning character, and that's the character we're gonna play touch on. Cool. Play NPC death animation. Just so it's a little bit more clear, gonna collapse this, make it a pure function. Collapse that to a function, make it pure. Just to keep it tidy. And now in our take damage function, we can do play NPC death animation here instead. Cool. We should probably do the same with this. Copy this, delete it, custom event, play directional hit animation. And these don't need to be set to anything, just be not replicated. To pass this through. Actor object. Damaged character. It's gonna be the main character. And same thing here. Just gonna change this output. Soft reference. Select from the wildcard. We're gonna plug this in here. Just control drag it. Should appear. And we can now do, let's see, left front, random, back, random, right, random, left, random. Go. Here we can now do async load asset. Cast to anim montage. There's one more thing here that I realized I made. When you do this async load asset, make sure to not use this node. It's to be the completed node. Otherwise, this will execute before this is loaded. Fine. From walls here, we can now do play directional hit animation. Damage causer is damage causer. We now don't need this. Just to get owning character. Plug that in. Yes. And same here. Sound should be soft object. Particle system should be soft object. Sound. And hit particle. We're gonna exchange this event to new events. Play hit system effect. Play hit effect. And another one. Play hit sound. Let's copy this one. So async load asset. Play hit effects. Cast to Niagara system, I guess, yes. This is the one we need. Spawn system attached. Actually, we need to change this as well, I realized. Because we still need to multicast it. So multi-spawn hit effects and custom event. Multi-play sound at location. So I just double clicked this to find this. So we want to change them. So multi-play sound down here. This should be a multicast. Let's do that. And the sound. And then we can just remove the sound from this one. That should be fine. So from here we want to play the sound. cast to sound queue. Yes. Same here from completed, not from the normal exec pin. Multiplay multi-spawn hit effects. Mesh is what we're attaching to. And here we do multiplay sound at location. Sound queue. Get the actor location. Plug it in. Cool EO. This compiles, so I think actually we need to go back into the take damage function and add play hit effects and play hit sound. And that should be fine. Then we have the character manager. We're gonna do similar stuff, but here we have to change some other things. I think it's mostly where we do here. So we need to, because everything is now in this. So let's change some stuff here. Yeah. So we have the main hand and offhand. So from here we're gonna break. And from the weapon mesh, async load asset. Cast to static mesh. Not actor, static mesh. From completed, drag there. We're gonna promote this to a variable. Call it current main hand. Nope. Call it current main hand mesh. And this is gonna be our rep notify instead. So set it to rep notify. And all of this that's going on in here, we're gonna take that, delete it, that in here instead. And actually, let's do the same thing here so we don't have to cast every time. So begin play. Get owner. Cast to character. Promote variable owning character. And same thing, collapse to a function and call it setup owning character. And now we have this owning character variable. So we can just plug this in here. And the new mesh will be the main hand mesh. Current main hand mesh. The variable, not the component. This might be a bit confusing, I realized. So the current main hand mesh is this one, is the variable. Then we have the main hand mesh. This is the actual component. I don't want to change the name because that will ruin this rep notify. That's fine. It's just a bit confusing. So main hand mesh, that's the actual component. Let's rename these instead. There we go. Now we don't want to, or we still need this for the socket name. Now we need to actually set this mesh, which we do here. That sets this mesh, which will set it here. And we just need to do the same thing for our hand. So just copy what's in the main hand. Actually copy this. Variable. Current offhand mesh, and this is also going to be a rep notify. Now we can go in here, copy this, and copy it into the on rep current offhand mesh. And this time we need the offhand, and we need the offhand mesh, and we need the current offhand mesh. Like so. Should be fine. I'm gonna set these two to be reliable. That doesn't do anything. And let's copy all of this here. Delete it in the light attack function. Go to combat graph. We already have this try light attack, so let's just keep using that. Gonna unplug this here. This shouldn't be in the character component, this should be in the player controller. I believe. Get a copy. Gonna swap out the old one to the new one. From here we're gonna go async load assets. Gonna cast to anim montage. I mean, this might still be a little bit. Because now we're gonna cast every time we do an attack that might actually not be ideal. But I mean, this should be loaded into memory already, so it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, that should be fine. And gonna put this one here. Gonna put this here. Gonna take this length. Let's collapse this to a function as well. Call it update combo counter. And then we're gonna take the final piece from the old chain, put it here. This I'm gonna put in here instead. That should be fine. Yep. And now we can see. Seems to be still working. And they die. Perfect. Cool. And we should like do software reference for all the UI stuff and everything. So we're gonna try to actually stick to software references from now on. Just looking if there's something I forgot. Oh, that's fine. This is so big. It's material instances and just mannequin stuff. I guess it just is big. All right. Yeah, that looks fine. All right, cool. I know, boring video. It just had to be done at some point. At least we are in kind of a better place for organization. So yeah, cool. That's gonna be it for this one, and I will see you in the next one where we start with fun stuff again. See ya!